All right, this is Michael White back at the Canadian Club Championships with my partner in commentary,
Sydney Somerville.
and we're here to watch Saiyan Elite versus Melee. Pretty familiar with Saiyan Elite. I got to do some commentary for them at the thing, and then recently earlier today. What can you tell me about Melee? Where are they from? How do they play?
Melee, so you have a fun mix here. You have Kerr here, Tabernor, and Waddingham. They are hailing from London. And then I believe Halawatenko is out of Oakville, so it's like a mix of London, Toronto-ish area.
Okay.
And they're usually a very scrappy team. They enjoy a fast pace. They push a lot. Hectic. I would describe their play style as very hectic for sure.
Okay, so kind of, I mean, I would describe Saiyan in that way as well. They like to kind of get into that aggressive mid-court space and just play the exchange game. They think they'll come out on top, so they're willing to throw. That's kind of what Melee likes to do too.
Saiyan capitalizes on chaos, though. Like, they cause the chaos, and then they always pull out of it on top.
Like that.
Oh, my God.
Cody fully making it rain.
That is a very Cody thing to do.
I think he had one, got a cross-court catch, then got a follow-up catch, and then dumped all three balls on his teammates as he ran towards the backcourt. That's very,
little jump and twirl after that.
Very happy moment. That should be a fun highlight.
I think he earned that. Somebody clip it.
We got to start thinking of our VC MVPs throughout the match as well. So, I mean, maybe he's making an early case for himself.
He goes for a shadow catch and gets tagged out.
Melee looking at a 2-on-4 now. I'm always curious to see how teams play in the 2-on scenario because it really limits your options, right? Like, it's me or you throwing, basically. So I'm always curious to see how teams approach that. Even something as simple as, like, do you approach the front line like they're doing now versus settling back, playing more defensively, looking to counter when your opponent's trying to throw at you, that sort of thing.
Melee kind of sticks to the same. If Karen Dang, number 10, is one of the last ones left on court. From what I've noticed watching them over the past couple of seasons, he tends to get whoever he's with to throw majority. He's more of a setting up for the catch type of player.
Okay. So he'll put himself in that space, make himself look like a target, and then use that to his advantage.
And he does have very good hands, so it's a good strategy for him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
If you can execute that, I would not say that's one of my strengths. So I fully respect players that can do it.
I'm too aggressive for that.
I want you to throw at me. I'm just not trying to catch it. I'm just trying to get you to dump the ball. Let me have more. I would say that's actually a lot like number 9 here on the Saiyan Elite side. His last name is Ng.
Yes, Kenneth Ng.
Ng. He's really aggressive. I remember watching him play in the finals, not the finals, the semifinals. It was Saiyan Elite and Hardest Foam. He was just selling out off of his corner, just running full bore at his opponent any opportunity he could, and he was getting away with it a lot. He really likes to just be in that aggressive space and kind of live by trial by fire, I guess, put himself out there and make plays happen. Dodge, catch, throw, hit, whatever. He just wants to be in that space.
Oh, he's always been like that. Anytime I've seen Kenneth play, he's...
Oh. Was that good?
I think that was a live ball. I think that...
Well, yeah, because now I'm confused because
I guess it gets called out.
If you caught the ball, like I do agree it was secured before the ball that hit him died, but he hadn't landed yet. So if he's out before he lands, is it technically a catch?
You do have to have 2 points of contact in order for it to be a valid catch. So I think, the ball that hit him died before he landed.
Ooh. Like the cross court from the right corner over here.
There's some big feelings over on Saiyan Elite side right now.
They're trying to keep the vibes up, it seems like. They're trying to have fun. It's getting late in the day, and I think the body might be giving up, so they're kind of leaning more into the mind. Melee with the advantage now, 3-1. Been able to capitalize on some big plays that could have swung the wrong way, much like that double catch or bang-bang catch that Cody had in the first set.
It's always a treat watching him play because I remember the very first time I saw him play was in Worlds of 2017, and he caught exactly like he did there, 2 balls back-to-back at the back line when he was left last for USA.
Yep, he's been doing it for a while, for sure.
He's a big name, has been for a very long time.
Well, yeah, it's wild to think, like, he has gotten better over these years, but he was really freaking good even back then. Like,
Absolutely.
He's just been doing it that long now. I first encountered Cody, I think in 2016, the first national tournament I went to, back when we were playing Elite Dodgeball, back when he was playing with TC Boosh.
Oh, yeah,
Along with
TC.
the likes of Ashley Cook and Charlie, I forget his last name. He was one of the captains for Boosh, I think, back in the day. But that was back playing 8.5. Maybe a little bit of no-sting. I think
Fantastic movement, nice hits, beautiful close.
heartbreaker there. Sakura making some exceptional throws and working through a 3v1 there to win game 2.
In that instance, I feel like Melee should have backed off a little bit instead of getting too greedy. You were up 2-1. You know that Josh on Saiyan Elite is one of the best dodgers in the country. You've seen him play. You've played against him countless times.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get too greedy with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can try, but I agree. I don't think it's a sound strategy, especially with somebody like that where it's almost obvious that they want to play that in-your-face agility trade game.
And he has got incredible movement on his ball as well. So
Yeah.
even if you think you're getting away from it, chances are you're probably getting tagged by it.
Well, yeah, he was in a 3v1 and did exactly that. Hit one of the 3 and then created the 2-on-1. And then Melee just didn't seem to have the composure to deal with that kind of a player.
Struggled to close.
But we're still early in the match. We're lined up for the next rush here.
We had a false start on Saiyan. That's the first one for this half. With ref Pete Decker in his cowboy hat.
So we got Moody on the court. Oh,
Another
Cody.
Foley catch.
The way he catches, it's like his elbow is attached to his body, and then he just folds in on the ball.
It's
and
like hands majority.
What are you supposed to do against that? You can't hit him in the elbow because his arms are tucked in, and then anywhere
Like,
on body, he does that.
When I throw at you, where do I aim? Because you catch with your ankles at this point.
Well, when he's sliding back, the ball tends to ricochet up, so it's like even when he's all the way laid out, it doesn't feel safe.
Nathan Wu hitting that double right in the middle on Melee over here, number 21 for Saiyan Elite. I think he was on Team Hong Kong.
I believe so. I don't know how he got connected to Saiyan Elite, but he's been playing with them for a while now.
I want to say maybe the Toronto League. I'm unsure. Don't quote me on that. I could be very, very wrong.
Well, actually, I don't know if I know that. Is Saiyan Elite mostly Toronto-based, or are they kind of spread out in the area?
I think it's majority Toronto-based.
Okay.
And then you have Foley, obviously, from Calgary. And then, yeah, I think that's... And then Moody Yusuf is also from Ottawa.
Oh, okay.
I think everybody else is Toronto or at least nearby Toronto.
All right, well, another addition to Melee here is Jordan Williams. He's been playing in between BC and Seattle for a long time now. He's now playing the right corner. Even looking at Saiyan Elite, as good as this lineup is, I have a lot of faith in Jordan Williams as a player, especially in this sort of scenario when you don't have 6 players on the court and he has space to move. He's an extremely hard out and a very crafty thrower. Oh, it looks like his teammate's a pretty crafty dodger, too. Oh, maybe got Nix. Ref's got to make a decision here.
Trying to figure out if it was a bounce into him or a hit direct.
So Jordan's now facing a 1v4. I wouldn't count him out, though. This is kind of what Jordan lives for. He loves to make game-changing catches, and that throw he's got is finessed.
He does have a cannon of an arm. I will give him that.
Oh.
He just ticked out by Wu.
Yeah, he got himself up pretty close there. I don't know if it's too close, but he wasn't really set up to catch following that first throw. He had a lot of balls in his hands, which can, maybe there's a strategy to that, but it didn't look like he was prepared for that. Looks like he was just trying to get the hit and then found himself a little too high up the court. Jordan will make adjustments throughout the match, though. Looks like Melee's having some success, too. They're not getting blown out here. Defensive rush didn't work out for him there. Trying to collect 3 balls with 1 player just to get the ball off to the sideline so that you can reset rather than, rushing with 2 players and exposing more players to the counter from Saiyan.
Against this team, for sure, the way to go because Saiyan's rush is incredibly fast and their throws are incredibly accurate.
Yeah, I got to do some commentary with Ben earlier between Saiyan Elite and Howl, another extremely fast rushing team, and Saiyan was not losing that battle.
No.
They were duking it out, if anything, and I think Saiyan came out on top most of the time.
I had Saiyan Elite and Mavericks, and it was the same thing.
I imagine that was an intense matchup. I believe they just faced off at the Thing recently, too, right?
Yes,
I don't know if that was just round robin. I don't know if they had bracket matches.
I don't know. I was quite busy with the women's bracket. I didn't get to watch much of the men's, but it's always a good matchup against them because some of them are like recent teammates with Team Canada, right? And longtime teammates with the national program. So,
yeah, exactly. A lot of interplay between a lot of Team Canada players there. It always makes for good dodgeball.
Saiyan Elite has 4 balls in hands, 3 bodies to Melee's 5. So they're up in an advantage here, and I'm hoping they can pull it through.
Yeah, they haven't really had an opportunity to kind of play through with the advantage, and that's kind of the goal in dodgeball, right, is to kind of get that advantage early and then hold on to that. Of course, you're always going to try to win, whether that happens for you or not, but it makes it a lot easier. But that's really dependent on how you play as a team. If you can't defend a lot of players on your side of the court, it doesn't really do you much good to, try to pick apart your opponent. They're just going to pick you apart too. But right now, Melee's surviving.
5v2, but I definitely wouldn't count the 2 out, being Cody and Moody.
Oh, Jordan went for that catch. That's the kind of catch he'll make. He'll get down to his knees and let his hand just collect the ball wherever it may go. But that was a perfectly placed ball. Good counter. Looks like we got Moody off the court.
Moody is dead. Moody is, I think it was an ankle hit maybe?
Down to a 4v1 against Cody.
Do we think he makes another catch? Or do we think he hits? What do we think? What are your bets here?
Honestly, because he's already eaten so many catches, I think Melee is going to be pretty wary. But the challenge with that is that Cody's a very capable thrower at distance. He likes to throw finesse curves, and he can throw a fastball on top of that. Oh, wow.
He does get hit on the inside of the thigh, I think it looks like.
Yep, kind of turtled up in that corner, relying on those blocking balls to protect him. Maybe not the best strategy based on the way it played out, but, I mean, if anyone can do it, Cody can.
I find a lot of the male players specifically favor the crouch. When you're left last, you crouch in the corner with the 2 balls placed in front of you. So low balls coming at your feet or your shins normally end up hitting those essentially blockades before they get to you. Kind
of building a wall or a shield of sorts. It may not seem that significant, but yeah, it can certainly have an impact. It does sacrifice maneuverability, so it's kind of a trade-off for every player, right? It's what you want to lean into. Would you rather lean into lateral motion and kind of, I guess, playing that guessing game with your opponent, or would you rather lean into protecting yourself with 2-3 blocking balls in hand and potentially countering?
I think with Foley, he was just leaning into a catch.
That might be it too. There's a whole mind game in there to be played as well.
So we get an opening rush, and now we're going into no blocking, which for anybody who's tuning in who doesn't play dodgeball or is new to watching it, no block, your ball becomes part of your body. So if the ball hits your ball and you don't catch it, or there's no pop-up, no nothing, you are out.
Intensifies the situation a bit. Some players like it, some players don't really prefer it.
I love no block. It's popcorn ball.
Oh.
Beautiful catch from Kenneth.
Being doing his thing on that corner, being aggressive and finding the chance to make a catch out of it. Ooh. Looks like we might have had a collision or a rough impact from a throw. Sakura looks like he took some sort of hit to the head or face.
Did he hit his head off the floor? I'm not.
Oh. Yeah, he has a tendency to get really low when he dodges. He's so agile that that's kind of a tool for him, but it does occasionally put him in a position of hitting his head on the floor because of how low he goes.
I think his head collided with Kalen, actually.
Oh, really?
The way he dodged, he kind of, like you said, went low to the floor and leaned over, and I think he might have hit Kalen's foot.
Looks like we got a medical team over there checking him out, making sure there's no concussion concerns.
Nice tag in the left corner. You have 4v3 in favor of Saiyan Elite right now.
Nice outside curve from Estabrook from that left corner.
Such a strange release.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to see him play enough.
Oh.
We're getting a little player feedback on what happened
so
to...
it's We're being told that the collision was with Kalen's fist.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if I'd prefer the fist or the foot, to be honest. And a Chatterton catch right up at the line. Beautiful way to close that set out.
Yeah, Saiyan's looking pretty solid.
Going into the second half, it is 4v1 in favor of Saiyan Elite. They're coming out pretty dominant in this game.
What do you think Melee can do to make an adjustment here? If you had to pick one thing, what would you pick?
Set their own pace.
It's fair criticism.
No panic throwing, that type of thing. But, I mean, it's also a matter of if you're on the back line, you're on defense, you shouldn't be flat-footed. You got to keep moving. You got to stay out of your own head. Keep your body working. Keep yourself in motion.
I love to hear that. I think that's some of the best advice for a lot of dodgeballers these days is to really, like, key into that constance of doing something, having some sort of effect on your opponent, you know?
And that's coming from someone who's been getting hit in the foot and the ankles all day.
We all learn one way or the other.
Oh, it was an elbow, not a fist.
Why are you so mean to Sakura? Poor Josh.
That's some friendly fire if I've ever seen it.
He's too valuable to be doing that. you
gotta
protect that guy.
You cannot line up beside Kalen. Kalen's throw is dangerous for the person he's throwing at and dangerous for the person he's throwing beside.
All right, leading into the second half here.
2
4-1.
balls on Saiyan Elite.
Melee coming out aggressive, throwing 2 balls out of 4.
Looks like Anna tried to feed it back and was unable to make connection with Riz up at the line.
Ooh. Great rush off the back line from Saint Elite there. Really explosive and forcing Melee into a difficult situation. Ooh. Oh, wow. Jordan struggling to survive in his corner. Honestly, from my angle, I didn't think that came anywhere close to him, so I must not have seen it well enough.
Could be a skim.
Ooh, high ball ricocheting over our heads.
And it takes 2 off of Saiyan's side. Kenneth and Kalen are both eliminated on those throws.
That's efficiency at work.
It's a 4v4 right now. Karen Dang looking for that catch and getting out of the way right at the last second.
Ooh, wicked cross. And he gets away with it. I'm surprised Cody didn't choose to throw straight down the line there.
Melee seems to be finding their footing a little bit more during the second half. They're finding their targets a little bit easier than they were in the first, for sure.
Yeah, they're leaning into their offense, finding some effect there. They're doing a pretty good job of mitigating that transition, but Saiyan's a team that's going to make that difficult for you one way or the other. So you really just kind of have to put that effort into it, like you were saying. Like, don't be lazy about it. You're going to have to try, because otherwise you're just going to get away with it, right?
If you're going to get hit, at least make them earn the hit. Don't just give it to them for free.
Oh. Man, Cody is just feeling it. He was opening up with some monster catches, and now he's just whipping balls cross court, hitting those tight angles.
Has anybody stood out to you from either side for MVP? And you can have Cody Foley. That is my nomination from Saiyan.
I think we got to put down Cody. We haven't seen a whole lot from Moody, which kind of surprised me. In earlier matches, he was doing all kinds of things. But to be honest, I think Esterbrook was actually having some pretty consistent play as well. He seemed to be capitalizing on that backline pressure, and finding opportunities and getting hits in that transition space.
You mean before he tried to behead his own player?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we should put soccer in just for that reason. Taking one for the team.
I think Foley for Saiyan, and for Melee,
Melee, I would like to say Jordan Williams, but honestly, I don't think he's done a whole lot out of his corner. He's kind of struggled to survive. Not to pick on him, but, you know, it's hard to have an effect when you're not on the court. I'm waiting.
I'm going to say Ryan Kerr for
How do you spell
Melee.
that? The C or a K?
K-E-R-R.
K-E-R-R. Who else? Well, let's see how this 1-on-2 plays out here. Unfortunate. All right, Melee's still looking for some footing. They had a start there. They were playing well. It was mostly out of their offense, though. we'll see if that defense can kind of shift gears here, but so far we haven't really seen much of an adjustment on that side of the ball. Do you have anyone else? I don't know who else to nominate for Melee at the moment. Part of it is I can't see names and numbers from this side now.
Karen Dang.
Karen Dang, let's do it. All right, we've got our VC MVPs coming to you now. You can kind of see the contrast. Previously we were watching Melee from this side of the court. Now we're getting to see how Saiyan's playing defense effectively, how they're pressuring off of their corners and really making it difficult for Melee to execute on offense. In that last set, we kind of saw that that effect of Melee being able to approach the front line and take those throws. But now Saiyan's responding by pressuring off the back line and creating opportunities for that last catch.
It's a great catch from Armsden, followed by Kalen throwing at the moon.
Melee still in this set, though. We got a 4-4. Now they're resetting with 4 balls, having earned the counter without getting hit.
I believe that's 5 minutes left in the half.
Ooh, nice low-place ball. Ooh, 2 nice low-place balls. This is starting to look like a win for Melee. Still got to get through Esterbrook and Ing, though. All right, resetting, 3 balls on the Melee side. Burden's on them because they have more players. Saiyan opting not to rush off the back line like they've been doing. Now that they're at a disadvantage, it's not necessarily the best strategy, though they are capable. Melee kind of taking their time with this. They're not really feeling like they need to rush. I don't think the match is their concern at this point, more so learning how to match up against a team like Saiyan Elite here. Like you said, kind of playing to their pace.
Saiyan Elite's in an excellent spot. There's really no need to rush anything. You don't need to push. Take your time.
Well, yeah, it's funny because it's almost contrary to their nature.
Don't forget to vote for your VCU player of the match. It should be posted there for you. See who pulls ahead in the list of 4 that we've posted.
We had some big highlights from Cody Dan Foley early in the match.
Great catch pulled in by Levelecki over there. Number 18 on Melee, bringing back in, was it Sazravi or Karen Dang? I don't know, I had Kenneth in front of me. Kenneth has 5 balls.
Ooh, wow.
2 hits, 2 throws, 2 hits.
Nice low, accurate shots there. I haven't actually seen Ing play a lot of one-on situations. He's so aggressive that he typically gets out earlier in the match, usually earning his team the advantage, but, you know, being so aggressive as to take the trade at some point in the match rather than playing to the final player, but demonstrating that he can do it.
Closes the 3v1.
Up to 6-1 now. Got a few minutes left on the clock to get your votes in.
2.5 minutes, folks.
I haven't really been paying attention to Melee's rush. I mean, it's been defensive from the start, as I recall.
They do a 3-ball rush majority of the time, specifically against teams like Saiyan Elite, Mavericks, that type of thing. You have some of the fastest rushers in the game on these teams, right?
True.
So sending one player for a 3-ball defensive rush is probably your best bet.
I mean, true, I definitely think it's the safe option. I was curious at this point in the match if they'd be willing to experiment with some things, maybe like a wide feed rather than pitching just to someone straight back, just to kind of spread the court space out and kind of respond to the speed that Saiyan Elite has. Let them take that first throw, but then capitalize on the fact that they're committing to that.
I just think that they're aware of the fact that Saiyan Elite is getting to the line before them, so as long as they can get their 3 balls back off the rush.
True, and they have been successful in doing that for the most part. They haven't really been getting killed on the rush. I think there's only been 1 or 2 that have really gotten away from them. And you are mitigating it to just 1 out rather than a chaotic exchange that, you know, will become costly as you play that out.
6v5 in favor of I stand corrected. It is a 5v4 in favor of Saiyan Elite, with, I believe, Waddingham throwing a field goal.
Melee having some fun there. Esterbrook's letting it fly, so they're letting it fly back at him. Looks like Jordan's trying to find his spot. He's been a little frustrated, hasn't been able to connect with much. Certainly capable, though. Just needs to kind of hone it in.
4v3.
Oh,
It's a good hit.
I can't believe how effective Jordan is at doing that. Every time I've played that guy, I swear he's managed to get that cheeky little like top spin over my blocking ball the way he just did to that guy. And he does it consistently. Like he feels out that moment, and just the finesse that he puts on that ball is incredible. Unfortunate that he hasn't been able to do more of it or do more with it earlier in the match, but finding his groove now. It's good to see.
We have about 10 seconds left, going just about to hit no blocking.
Oh, Esterbrook's pulling out the behind the back to let one go before the no block.
Esterbrook's and Dongan versus Waddingham and Carindang.
How much do you know about Dongan? Kind of like, I forget that he's on the team in a way, but mostly because I don't know him well.
He's originally Northern Touch, and then Saiyan Elite was created. He played with them for their first couple runs, and then I believe he had said that this year was his last competitive year for Dodgeball. So initially he did leave Northern Touch, or no, he left Saiyan Elite to go back to playing with Northern Touch for his final season. And then when Northern Touch unfortunately did not qualify, Saiyan welcomed him back.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I forgot I had read that in the bio. I just didn't realize that was Dongan.
Final score for this game is a dominating 7-1 for Saiyan Elite.
Definitely one of the teams I expect to go far in the tournament. Melee could surprise some people, though. That was not the performance they were hoping to put out there, but it's getting late in the day too. Maybe that's
round
starting
robin.
to
We got more games.
Exactly. Oh, it's not even 6 o'clock yet. I think we still got at least 2 or 3 matches to go today. In fact, on that note, let's check who we've got coming up for the next match. I think I'm hanging around to do a little bit more commentary. I think you and I are probably back after this next set. We might have that last time slot. Yeah. We've got Zeal and Vendetta up next. Vendetta, one of the teams out of BC I'm somewhat familiar with. And Zeal, I actually got to ref one of their matches earlier. They really surprised me. They are aggressive, and they were taking it to future. It ended up